Good morning, Stitchy friends. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Today is Wednesday, July 9th. I am so happy to be here with you again. Glad to see all of my friends, my Stitchy buddies. I have all kinds of things to share today. It's been about a month, I think maybe a little over a month since I did my last video, but you know how life happens. I have been to Country Samplers summer camp retreat. In that time, I've accumulated quite a few purchases. I have some finishes. Um, I have my whips to show you. Um, just all kinds of things that I have discovered. There's things all over the room. Let me say that you have reached my floss tube stitching bunny. I'm Judy, and I'm a long time cross stitcher. I've been stitching over 50 years. I won't even tell you how many years, over 50 years. Um, but it's still my passion. I pretty much stitch every day, many hours a day. It's just something that I love to do and I love to share. So thank you for joining me. If you're new, you just happen to stumble across me, welcome, especially to you new people. If you like what you see, please give me a like, thumbs up, and if you'd like to subscribe so that you're notified of when I post a new video. You can never tell. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 3 weeks, it could be a month and a half. It just depends on when I have enough to share with you and when I have time to sit down and do this. So that being said, why don't we get into today's video? It might run a little long, so if you don't have your stitching project, take a minute to stop this and go and get something to stitch on, get something to drink, put your feet up, and let's do this. Let's talk cross stitch. Okay, first of all, what I normally like to do, I have a couple of finishes that I'd like to start with, and then we'll do our process and go through whips and things. So, a couple of finishes I have. I have a couple of small things. My patriotic bug has just totally exploded. I normally was not a real big patriotic stitcher, mainly because I'm not a summer girl, I think is what it is. I go from stitching things for Easter and that type thing, and just kind of more or less just and kind of move into my fall things. I stitch Christmas all year, so I'm just all over the place. But all of a sudden this year, maybe it's because of things that are happening in our country. Maybe it's because everybody else has inspired me. I just really have just relished stitching patriotic this year. I do have some in my whips. I did finish one, but I think you'll see with what I'm working on and what my future plans are and all, that I have really been bitten by the patriotic bug. Also, I think one of the other things is the fact that next year is our 250th anniversary of our country. So I did start a major project for that. I started it on the 4th of July. I'm giving myself to next 4th of July to get it done. I'd even like to have it finished by then, framed and finished. We'll see. That's saying a lot for me to say I might have something framed by that time, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy stitching on it. I'm working on this with my friend Cindy Pope, and with our last stitch along that we did together, we really had a great time. So we're doing it again, and we've even got another one scheduled to start in October. So got lots of exciting stuff coming up. Okay, my first finish is just a little, I believe this was Primrose Cottage. I think it was just called July 4th, 1776 house. Just a little guy. It's on a scrap of 40 count something. And it was just a really fun stitch. It turned out a little bit, I think, too big to make into a scissor fob, which is what I had wanted to do originally with it. So it's going to wind up probably being just a little pillow. If I even find a little frame that it'll fit in, I think that might be cute, you know, a color frame or something. So we'll take a look. It's just a little guy. So we'll see how that gets finished. But that's going into the finishing pile, which is getting bigger and bigger by the day, by the way. So that was my first finish. Then I had, this is my finish for the June summer camp. Well, actually, it's Colorado Cross Stitchers Summer Camp 2025. This is the June challenge, which was to stitch something that related to the time of day you normally stitch. Well, I stitch anytime during the day since I really have no responsibilities. My husband pretty much takes care of the doggy and a large part of the household, you know, until it's time for me to cook dinner, and then I take over responsibilities. But I do stitch, you know, many hours during the day. So what I decided to do, I wanted to stitch this piece, and because it's one of the moons from Plum Street, sorry. This is one of the moons. I thought this would be a perfect time to stitch it, and I really do stitch late at night. Sometimes I'm usually up till 2 a.m. And some of that time is spent stitching. So without further ado, here it is, a little Salem stitch, little Salem Moon by Plum Street. Look at this, right? And here she is. It's done on a piece of, excuse me, one second. I meant to bring this out because I have my journal here that I keep all the info in on my projects. Oh, and I wanted to have all this information in front of me. Okay, it's called Salem Mini Moon by Plum Street. And this is stitched on 40 count Newcastle Haunted Castle, which is just a fabulous piece of linen. It's used a called for DMC overdyes, which are Classic Color Works, I believe, and Week Star Works. So I started this on June 1st for the June challenge, and I finished it on June 15th. It was just so much fun to stitch. Just so much fun to stitch. And it's got the 1692 and the moon. I believe that's referring to the Salem witch trials. Just, you know, one of my favorite things, obviously, my bunnies in there. I love the cauldron, the pumpkins with the faces and the spiders on them, the bubbles coming out of the cauldron. Just everything about it, you know, and of course her colors are just fabulous. So that's Salem Mini Moon. I'm just thrilled with that one. That's definitely going to be finished for Halloween this year. And then I actually have an FFO, and this is very rare for me. I believe I showed this stitching piece probably on my last floss suit, because I believe it was finished then. But this is something I made for the Country Sampler Retreat, and I have a couple of more retreats coming up this fall. So this is it. And let me show you. I believe, yes. Okay, now this is a piece from Market this year that was Heartstring Samplery, and I believe it's called, is it Treasured Friends? Let's see. Treasured Memories. That's what it is. It's stitched on 40 count vintage navy bean by Lakeside, called for overdyed cottons. And there's my finish. I made it into a table mat. It's got a couple of pockets down here. And I made it so that it'll fit on the table, and then this part hangs down so that I can have my little scissors in there and, you know, whatever I'm using. but that's the finished piece, and I'm so proud of it. I am just so happy with it. Put the 2025 on there, put my initials in the stitching hoop up on the top, and it's just all the little stitching things and the friends stitching together, which is exactly what it turned out to be. It was wonderful. Yeah, it's just a wonderful retreat. And I hope, God willing, if I'm still on this side of the grass next year, I'll be going again, because it's just it's wonderful. It's within driving distance of my home. I get to go home every evening and spend the evening with my husband and my dog, so I don't have a hotel room and no airfare, and I can kind of justify the cost of the retreat that way, since my husband and I really don't take vacations together. This is my vacation, and my part of my birthday present too. But it is so worth it. It is just a wonderful time. And when I can show you some of my haul from that I bought at Country Sampler. I can tell you a few stories about the retreat at the time. So that's my fully finished. I am so proud of it. And tomorrow is my stitching day at my group of friends at the senior center in Fitchburg, a little town that's, just about 2 towns over from where I am in Madison. It's a wonderful group of ladies. They stitch together once every month, and it's like an all day long stitching at the senior center there. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. I've made many friends there, and just so totally enjoy that. Look forward to it every month. So that's going to that tomorrow also. Okay, I think that's my finishes. Let's move into whips. I am going to have to stop too and kind of shift things around, because the room hasn't gotten any bigger. I'm still kind of closed in here. But I've got my whips up here, and I've got a couple of finishes that were previous finishes for July or for the summer that I've had out decorating my table here in my sewing room. So I thought I'd show you those too, because I do actually finish some things and display them in my house. So I have to show you those. Let's do my whips first, please. This is Liberty Lodge, and going along with the Colorado Cross Stitch monthly challenge, this is my July challenge. And this the July challenge was stitch something by your favorite designer. And when I thought about it, what I like to stitch and what really attracts me, there's several designers that I always look at. However, there's the one that I realize that I actually pick the most to actually stitch, and that would be Plum Street. I don't think there's anything that she has ever done that I would not love to stitch. So this is my July challenge from my favorite designer, and I thought it was appropriate to do Liberty Lodge. This is something I've had for a while, I guess. Let's see if there's, this is from 2018. So yeah, I've had this for a while. Didn't have it kitted, but when I was looking through my Plum Streets, and this jumped out at me. As I said, my Patriotic is blossoming. So that's the chart, and this is what I have accomplished. This is where I'm at. I'm going to reach over for a second. I'm going to try to not knock my phone off the stand. I actually brought my board out so that I can show these a little easier. So if you just bear with me a second. This one is getting really close to a finish. I've been working on it several days in a row. It's hard to put down. I have dangling thread here too, so please ignore that. But here's where I'm at on Liberty Lodge. And actually, the whole floral side with the eagle, I see the eagle in there, and the truck is in, everything is done except for the house fill-in. And what I was doing last night, I was filling in the little window on the truck. Let me see if I can get this a little closer for you. That's kind of awkward. But anyway, the window of the truck is, the truck's in front of the house. So that's color is part of the house. So I thought I'd fill that in and then go and outline the house and fill in the house at my stitch-in tomorrow. Because that's an easy thing to do. I like to bring something that's just to fill in so I can talk and don't have to really count and then come home and rip things out that I made a mistake on. But now that I'm looking at the color inside the window of the truck, I'm not sure that that color is really gonna be too, I think it's going to be too close to the outline of the windows, and the same color as the roof. Is that, I'm sorry, the roof and the outline of the windows are the same color, and I think that it's going to be a little too close. On the truck, there's a little steering wheel in there. That little steering wheel was the same color as the outline on the windows, and when I started filling in this, I think it's stepping stones color, the little steering wheel didn't show up anymore, and I thought, oh no, that's the true sign that that might be a little bit too dark. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to preview a couple other colors and, maybe lighten that up a tad. I do want to try to stick with the variegated because of the size of the house. I think that'd be a lot prettier than it just being a solid DMC color. And the rest of the piece is done in variegated over-dyed cotton. So I'm going to start playing with that this evening and see what I decide so I can work on this at Stitch-In tomorrow. But I am just thrilled with this. I just love it. Love it. I love my eagle. So that's my Liberty Lodge. That was one of my whips that I've been putting a lot of time into. I know the other thing I discovered about Plum Street is that it's very hard for me when I am stitching on one of them. It's very hard for me to put it down and, switch to something else, which is what I normally like to do, so that I keep my whips moving. But when I'm stitching hers, oof, it's really hard to not continue the work. So let me put this one away so I don't get everything all confused here. That was my one whip. I also have to make sure I don't pull my phone cord here. Okay, this next one is Peace on Earth. This is the one that I was doing with my friend Cindy Pope first. Cindy, of course, has finished hers, the little show-off. Cindy hasn't said, I don't know if she has a lot of whips. I have a ton of them. Cindy might be more of a monogamous stitcher, but she started this a little bit ahead of me, and she has certainly shown me up because, as I said, this one now is finished. This is Peace on Earth by Lila Studio. And this is, again, one of these things that you can't put it down. It's just, I just enjoyed this so much. And maybe it's because I'm stitching it with Cindy. We went to high school together. And after high school, Cindy went to college and I didn't. I went to work. So we just kind of lost touch, as you do, when things change like that. So we reconnected because Cindy had watched one of my floss tubes, and on that floss tube I mentioned that I had, lived in Chicago and that I graduated from Luther South High School in '69. And Cindy left me a comment and said, I graduated. I also went to Luther and I graduated in '69. I'm going, wait a minute, Cindy, I bet that's Cindy Walter. Well, I'm sorry, Cindy, I'm giving away your whole life history here on air, and I didn't even ask you if I could do this, but I'm hoping I don't do anything wrong here. So we figured out that, we knew each other, and we reconnected, and it's just been wonderful. We did a Zoom call last week or two ago, and because I hadn't seen her, we were just texting and talking, and so we actually did a Zoom call where we stitched together and yacked, and it was just fabulous. It was like no time had passed. Um, 56 years or whatever it is has passed, and it was like nothing. It was like we just struck up our old friendship, and I am just so glad that we were able to do that. Okay, Peace on Earth, I started on May 15th, and I don't think I'm doing too bad considering this is a very large piece. Let me stop yakking here and put this on my board. And as I said, Cindy's is done. I don't know if she has, excuse me, I don't know if she has sent it off to be framed or what she plans on doing. Cindy lives in Arizona, and they go to a summering place for the 3 months of summer, and she doesn't have her same stitching paraphernalia there, her light and her stand and all, so she doesn't really work on any large projects there. So she, it's nice that she got hers done. This is where I am at, and the only thing I have, this will be the corner here. So there's a couple more Quaker motifs. Or maybe this is where the bears are. I think this is where the polar bears are. After we get this, there might be one more Quaker thing. I'm almost sure that this is polar bears too. But anyway, that will finish the outlining. And then there's the whole middle section that is a winter scene. And I was saving that for last because I think that's going to be so much fun to stitch. Let me bring this back out. Oh yeah, there is another Quaker motif, and then there is a polar bear down here. That's the corner I need to finish. Now look at this winter scene. Peace on Earth, goodwill to men. And according to Cindy, it's quite a chore. it's a lot of stitching. Not that the whole piece wasn't a lot of stitching. But I think that I'm just going to have so much fun putting that in. So especially since I'm not a summer girl. Stitching winter or Christmas right now is right up my alley. It seems to make me feel cooler. And if that helps, we'll go on with it. So that's it. I am thrilled with it. I had this, was stitching on this at the Country Sampler retreat. And a lot of people stopped to see what it was. Jeannie didn't have it at the store, and I think before the weekend was over, Jeannie had them on order, and everybody wanted it. To see something like this, it's actually being stitched. I mean, the picture to me was beautiful, but to actually see it stitched or somebody working on it, that's 3,000 times better. So. Thank you, Lila. Your charts are fabulous. And the one that I mentioned that Cindy and I are going to start later in the year when Cindy's back home, and her birthday is in October. So we're going to start at the middle of the month in October, is the Lila's Quaker sampler for autumn. So it's on this order. But it's all the autumn things that is just, I don't know that I love the other two also, but is it because I'm not really a spring or summer girl? I'm not sure whether I would stitch those two. I have so many things that I want to stitch, and I'm not getting any younger, so I'm not sure whether those will come about, but I wouldn't really, hate stitching those either, even though they're not truly my favorite thing, but beautiful. Anyway, let's move on. This is another whip, and this is a whip I started as my birthday start, along with Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot, and my friend Marcy from the EGA here in Wisconsin, and although she's in Milwaukee, so it's the Milwaukee EGA. I think she said the Badger um, chapter, I think is what they call them. So the three of us all have birthdays in June, and we were all born in the same year. So we're the three birthday girls, and now we picked up a few other people along the way. One that I know of is Holly um, from what's your floss tube, Holly? Holly Creates, maybe. I hope that's right. Um, she's a June birthday, but not our year. And then there's a friend that I met, Janine, uh, that I met last year at the Country Sampler Retreat. And we saw each other again this year and talked for a long, long time this time. Um, and she's joining us too. So, and I'm hoping a lot of other people. This is it, what we're stitching on. It's a daily reminder by With Thy Needle and Thread, and it's done on the is it dark soil? Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the arboreal from Cedar River linen. So it's more of kind of like a greenish brown. And this is where I'm at. I thought this would be difficult to stitch on, and it really isn't. This is a 40 count. Put my bag down here. Get my fluffy board. The one thing, when I was stitching this, the alphabet that goes around, that actually is the border of the piece, was supposed to be Smyrna crosses. And with it being a light color floss on this dark green, there we go. I didn't like the way the Smyrnas looked. It's like they weren't, they were too delicate. You really could hardly see them, and they weren't laying nicely. So I didn't like it. I had done several letters, and the more I stitched, the more I didn't like them. So I took those out, and what I'm doing is just cross stitch in all those spots instead. And I think it looks so much nicer. The white floss, it's not actually white, it's one of the over dyes, but it looks so much nicer. The letters are so much more distinctive. I'm really much happier with it. So I've got, part of the alphabet done, and the wording and the flower basket. I'm down here working on a tree that there's still quite a bit of stitching because I'm getting to the house, but I'm trying to finish up this side and then work over the house. I really am in a good spot where I can start on the house too, so I might do that and just kind of go back and in the meantime kind of keep filling in the alphabet. I just love the piece, and this was from Market this year, so it's a brand new stitch. So that's that one. Keep watching my cord here. All right, let me put this back in the bag if you don't mind. And I have one more whip that I wanted to show you. And this was the one I was speaking of that I've just started again with Cindy. And this is for next year's 250th anniversary of our country. And this is called American Sampler. There's a Facebook group that's stitching this as a stitch along. And I'm not sure, is it the Happiest Stitchers on Earth? The two friends. I think that's the name of their floss tube. But they originally started the stitch along on this, and so many people I know have jumped in because this is just a beautiful chart. American Sampler by Crochet A Go-Go. It's a big piece, but we have a year to work on it. And these are always so fun too. I've done several of her samplers, and so much fun to stitch. So that's the piece we're working on. I am doing this on 40 count Heroic by Picture This Plus, And I don't have a lot on here, so I won't even bother putting it on the board. This is where I'm at. I've got the bones of the top border in, and I wanted to do the corner to make sure that that was stitched properly. I'm going to fill in the whole top border to make sure that those leaves and everything line up to where they're supposed to be, that it's counted correctly. Just did a little off on the sides. And then I'm going to get into the meat of the sampler and work on the rest of the borders, I think, gradually. I'm not sure. You know, sometimes it's so much easier to count off of, but because this is almost a band sampler, at least to me, it seems like, you know, there's so much you can count off of that I should be okay without having to fill in the entire border. Maybe I'll just put in the bones. I don't know. You know, you can never tell. Whatever mood I get in, if I get bored with stitching, just, you know, the vines, the border where there really isn't any pretty color, I might just go back to stitching the middle of the sampler. But we'll see. So as I said, it's just a measly little start. But I'm loving it. And this Heroic is just such a beautiful linen. I don't know if you can see this here, if you're familiar with Heroic. There's splashes of blue and red in the piece. There, that's a little bit down farther on the piece, but that's a good show of how pretty that is. Just perfect for this sampler. And in fact, Cindy's doing hers on Heroic also. You know, just brilliant minds. We think alike. So that's my last whip that I touched. I really did get sidetracked with a lot of these where I just, you know, had to spend several days on them. They deserved it, and that's what I did. So I didn't do as much switching around this past month. Kind of stitched on the same things, but that's what I wanted to do. My stitching, my rules. Okay, let me move this stuff out of the way. Let me get my little, excuse me, I threw one on the floor. My little finishes. I'll be right back. Talks amongst yourselves. It never fails. If I don't knock something over, I drop something. So, okay. This is, I'm sure, a Plum Street, and it's Hello Summer. And that's out on my little stitching table up here with the beautiful, you know, my great eagles. The waving flag. I love how she did the flag. There's a watermelon in there, and typical summer things. And I'm not sure. I think this is maybe a what's her name? Joe Morton. This might be a Joe Morton fabric, but it's probably, you know, if it's not, it's a reproduction type fabric. So there's that one. This is also Plum Street. This was, I'm not sure what the actual name of this is. And you'll probably all be yelling at me and telling me what it should be. But I did this during COVID. And I put the World Wept 2020 on this. But it's Patriotic Quilt Out. I don't know. I'm not even going to guess at the name because it was 2020. So for me to remember something from 5 years ago is pretty much asking the impossible at this point. But I love how it turned out. And it's George and Martha, I'm sure. So there's that one. I have one more Patriotic, and then I have just a summer one. This is, I can't believe this is Plum Street too. This is, I think it's called George Decorates for Martha, but it's the Independence Day one. I love this. I love the quilt block and quilt blocks in there. Since I am a former quilter, unable to quilt anymore, and it breaks my heart, but eyesight just doesn't handle it anymore. I just think that's so precious. That's George and Martha. And then one last one that I put out every year, and this is because my husband and I always, you know, watch when the corn is planted here. Even though I'm in Madison, I'm at a very far corner, one of the corners of Madison, like the furthest from the actual city, um, downtown city, I should say. But so anyway, I am still in a rural area out here, and we have cornfields all over. And we always have to take our doggy Rosie for a ride every day. So, we're out and about, and we do watch the corn progress during the summer. And right now, the reason we do this too is, first of all, we both love corn on the cob. And my late husband used to have, he just loved corn on the cob, and he could have that just for a meal. He'd make, you know, several ears of it on the grill or whatever way we cooked it, and that was his meal. He just loved it. So, and his birthday is July 16th, and we always used to say that the corn was always ready. The tassels were on the corn right around George's birthday, and that was, the reason he used to love it so much. So we still follow that, and we still make sure that the corn is ready and the tassels are out by George's birthday, and gauge how much before his birthday, whether it's a good corn year or a bad corn year. Well, we already have tassels right now, and probably have for a day or so, and is it today's the 9th, so I would say probably, even if we go back to tomorrow, he's still, we're 8 days early this year, and this is the corn knee high by the 4th of July. Um, that was just, it was knee high by, still in June, probably my birthday. So we've just had a wonderful, we've had rain, and then we have some sunny, warm days, and then we have some more rain, and we have some more sunny, warm days. So it's been perfect for the farmers this year. But this is just, again, with the quilt blocks in there, the flag is quilt blocks. And there's our corn with the tassels. Love this piece. I just love it. And it's got the stars on the back. Cute. So those are 4 of my finishes that I actually finished. And I can just throw these over here. Okay, let's see what else is on my list here. Okay, we did those, we did that. While I have this here, there is one thing I got in haul, and it's not in with my regular charts and stuff, but I did want to mention it. Now, I got this at Thrift Books. Its website is thriftbooks.com. Very reasonable. This was a new publication, so they really didn't have any used ones, but normally, they'll have the book that's new, very reasonable price, and or they have used ones depending on the condition of them. There'll be different prices, but they're very, very nice to deal with. Anyway, I believe this book, from what I'm seeing on here, I believe this book is supposed to be it lists for $90. That probably still would be well worth it, but I don't know that I would have invested in it had it been $90. I think I paid $45, $47, so probably about half price for this. And I had seen this, somebody else had mentioned this, and before it was actually out and published, but I had to pre-order it right away. It's Tennessee Samplers. Now, this book is almost 800 pages. I have sat down and just started reading a little bit of it, but it is all, oh my God, it is fabulous. If nothing else, it is the most tremendous eye candy. Talk about a coffee book table. This is it. But I'm really pleased with it. I am really pleased with it. And it was delivered, in wonderful condition. It was packed well, and my husband was complaining, though, because he went out and got the mail that day, and he had to drag it up the stairs to my stitching room here. And it weighs a ton, so he got his exercise for the day. But I would highly recommend it if you're, there aren't any charts in here. It's strictly samplers that are from Tennessee, 1800 and 1900. And it's nice to know that there are that many American samplers out there that have been recovered and kept for future generations. Is usually it's European samplers, just because of the fact that they've been around a lot longer than we have. So it's nice to have a book that's American samplers. So there's that. Okay, let's see what else we have. I have a lot of haul, quite a bit of haul that I'd like to get to. So I think I might stop and move that bucket up here. And then I also have a nice surprise. Oh, I wanted to do these too. So let me do that. Before I do stop and bring my haul up, I was downstairs in my quilt studio this morning because I was looking for my finished pieces to show you, and my ironing board is down there. So I took them down to press them and make sure I didn't have any down there that I hadn't shown you. Anyway, I was down in the quilt studio, and this stitchy bag has been sitting down there for a while, and I hadn't paid any attention. It was kind of sitting underneath my sewing table, and I knew it was there. I just, at this point, didn't remember what was in it. So while I was waiting for the iron to heat up, I pulled it out and took a look at it. And first of all, probably the best thing is that when I looked at it close, this is all Blackbird fabric. I couldn't tell you who made this. I did purchase it. I didn't make this myself. It's all Blackbird. It's got the sampler pieces in here, the stars. There's the back. I think, let's see, what's the inside? I think the inside is just plain. Yeah, the inside is just like muslin. But I was so thrilled when I looked at it close. Oh my God, it's a Blackbird bag. So needless to say, that came up here, and that's going to get some projects, one of my whips in there. But in the meantime, the reason these projects were sitting in there is, first of all, they're stitched and they need to be fully finished. But they're sewing involved. So they were down there in my quilt studio so that I would put them together. Well, I hate to tell you, I can hardly even remember stitching these. They were so long ago. This first one is Pumpkin Blossom Needle Case. And this is from, I saw the date on here. Or did I? 2003. I stitched this. That's what it is. And on the back here, they show you that the finishing. It's made into a needle case. I have the two. This is stitched, this little bird piece here. And then the alphabet piece is stitched here that turns into a pocket. And then it's folded and ribbon tied, and that's your needle case. So, here's the finished stitching. Move this out of my way. This is the needle case that's stitched, and there's even beads on there. Yeah, there are in the Blackbird. I don't remember too many Blackbird pieces with stitching, or I'm sorry, beading on them. Beautiful colors on this. So that will be the book. And the book is all lined. And here's the little birds with the needle. That'll be the top on the one side. And this has got the date 2003 and some more beads on here. And it's the alphabet. And that'll be the pocket on the other side. I was so excited. I thought, yes, look at this. It's something else I can finish. So I'm going to work on doing that. I think after how many years? 2003, 22 years. It probably deserves to come out of the plastic and be fully finished. So we are going to work on that. And then I have this great chart. So that's going in the finishing pile that I know now what it is. And then there was another one. Now this isn't a Blackbird, but this is also something that needs to be finished. And this was from, I believe, a class that I took at Country Sampler. And this is almost as old. I think this was 2005, maybe I saw on here. Let me open this because I have to get the pieces out anyway. And this is the sewing pattern. It's a stitcher's roll done with Silks, excuse me, my nose is itchy, by Lottie Da. Now that's a very light color picture. The linen and all is much darker, and I think the fabric too is different inside. But let me show you. Actually, the only thing that needs to be done on this is the binding. I've got the binding half sewn on, and for some reason stopped right there, and haven't totally finished it. But it has all these neat pieces. Let me show you. Ignore the clippies. That's where the binding still needs to be sewn on. Down here, this is a little, I believe it's like a thimble, little bag. Right, put your thimble in. That is gathered. Then we have, maybe I should do it this way. These are pockets that are sewn on, and that's the stitching. And it's boxwood and berries. Oh yes, I see. It's 2007 on this one, and that was Country Sampler. That's their one of their other classes they used to do. I still think they still do boxwood and berries. I think that's more in the fall. And here's the year stitched in. This piece, and this was all stuff we put together, I believe. This is a little ruler from Lottie Da with the silk floss on there. And then we get to this side, and it has my initials. Oh, and I put my husband on there too. Of course, he appears everywhere. And again, these are sewn down, so they're little pockets. And then on this side, we have a pin cushion that we made with the trim. So it's a whole piece. There's little snaps up here for, holding your scissors, holding your floss, whatever. This one holds the little thimble case. It is just precious. Now, however, if I was doing this again, I think what I would do is put some kind of a batting or stiffener in there. It's there isn't anything but the 2 layers of fabric. Actually, it's just, we might have, I don't know if this is seamed together or not. It was so long ago, I don't remember if there's anything holding the 2 pieces of fabric together other than, the sewing down here. It doesn't feel like it moves, so there must be some type of interfacing in there. But it's been folded and packed away for so long. Maybe it'll be stiffer when I actually finish it and, can press it. At this point, I don't think there's much I can do because the back, is the other beautiful fabric, and, you don't want to do anything with that. And I'm afraid if that piece is stitched or fastened in there somehow, interfaced, I wouldn't be able to do anything anyway. So, needless to say, but the whole thing is done so cute. There's little buttons on each part of where the pocket is stitched. Just the cutest little things. The silk ribbons that, hold the little rings to attach things to. It's just gorgeous. It really is. So, maybe next month, I could have that finished. God only knows. Stranger things have happened. So now that I know that it's down there, and there really is just now at this point hand sewing to finish it, maybe I'll take an evening off from cross stitching and get this finished, because I certainly would either love to display this in my coffee table or actually use it. I just thought that was really neat. I had to show you those too. And my Blackbird bag in the meantime. Okay, so that's that. Now, I think what I'll do is stop the video for a moment and get my haul up here, and we'll do my surprise, and then we'll do haul. I'll be right back with you. Okay, I think I'm back. um, while I was at it, I didn't really take any time and talk about the Country Sampler Retreat. And since I myself am behind on watching floss tubes, I'm not sure who's done a recap or whatever. But I just wanted to quickly show you the projects that we got from the three designers and how wonderful everything was. And then we'll get to my haul. Yeah, I have Country Sampler haul, and then I have just regular haul. Um, and then we'll get to the big surprise here. Okay, the first day was Needlework Press. I had never seen Needlework Press in person. It was just Vicki. Her daughter-in-law wasn't with her, but we got this beautiful sampler from Vicki. Oh, God, it is Lucy Louise Airy, aged 11, and very patriotic colors. Beautiful sampler. This is in my, all three of these projects are in my to start pile. Isn't that pretty? That's the chart. And we got the fabric. It's done on Fox and Rabbit, Up in the Attic. Yes. Keep my pieces straight here. Let's see. This is on 36 count. So it's like 10 by 8 by 10 by 3. Not too bad size-wise. Here's the colors. And it's done on Up in the Attic. So that was very neat. It's really, really, really very pretty. So I'm excited about that, and listening to Vicki is mind-boggling. She is so into this. She's so interesting to listen to. Then she also gave us this little goodie. That's the Reward of Merit chart with all the supplies. And this was supposed to teach us, and she was going around showing everybody how to do the hem stitching. So it's a small piece, and something that was reasonable. And oh, this was from what we got from Jeannie the first day. Besides this beautiful basket, and I'll show you once I get all my haul out of it, a beautiful basket that every day we came, our goodie from her was in there. The second day was Kathleen Littleton from Antique Sampler Reproductions, and she was a delight. She really was. The woman has 14 children. I think she still has a couple of them at home. Just a wonderful, wonderful lady. She presented us with two samplers that are sisters. They're the Sandery sisters. Sarah was aged 8 and Mary aged 10. And they're very similar in design, but they're two different charts. This one here, let's see, this, oh, and her charts are just fabulous too. The linen for this one is a lighter color. Now this one was, let's see if Dirty Teacup by Needle and Flax. That's what that one is. And then this one is stitched on, what's the linen for this one? There's linen on this one for this sister. And this one is, let's see, Steinbeck by Needle and Flax. Beautiful linens. And then she gave us this too, which in itself is a gold mine. She did a presentation on this, and it's a book with all of, just samplers and information, and It's wonderful, just wonderful. And since she was such a delight to listen to, she is just cute as a little button. So we thoroughly enjoyed that one. That was the second day. And her charts, I don't know that I had, I think I maybe have had one or two of her charts previously, but she just goes above and beyond the way she charts her pieces. They're just lovely. So that was the second day. And besides that, oh, there's one here that I don't want to, one that was just a paper chart. She also gave us all of these charts as goodies. Alice's Rose, 1844. And this was Two Turtle Doves. I love that. And Pieces of Innocence, 1840. And she had these samples there. And then she did this. It was the original design, Little Alice. And she has her initials on there with that great frame. Isn't that great? So she gave us those. And then the last day was Stacy Nash. And, you know, what do you have to say about Stacy Nash? Her goodie came in this little bag, Stacy Nash bag. This is what we received from her. This is Christian Sewing Fold and Box Pin Keep. With all the threads and everything, beautiful linen, and a little ruler that says Summer Camp. Just, it was wonderful. It was just so wonderful. And Jeannie did announce the designers for next year. And, of course, I don't remember, let's see. Samplers Not Forgotten maybe was one of them. Plum Street. And maybe Teresa from Shakespeare's Peddler. I'm not sure about that one. But anyway, yes, it doesn't matter. It'll be tremendous. And Plum Street's going to be, I've never met Plum Street either. They're going to be there. Okay, so that's kind of the wrap-up of Country Sampler Retreat. These are the things I purchased at Country Sampler. This one, her kits are just fabulous. So this is Comfort and Joy by Plum Street. It's going to be on 40 count baked clay. Isn't that great? And of course, Jeannie's kidding. And then this one she had as a model, and I couldn't, for some reason, I just couldn't place it. But the way they had this stitched as a model, it was stitched as just the top half, the house. And I got 40 count on this one too, but it's just like from that green border, the grass, and up is the way they had it done. So it's like this. And it's beautiful. And there's the whole piece. And I think I could even stitch the bottom piece by itself, just because I love it. So I bought that. They kitted that one up for me. And I did buy these. This was the Innocence 1840. She had the sample there. This is the whole chart. This is absolutely gorgeous. The roses on this, if you could see the stitching, the colors, it was just magnificent. I also bought this because I've been wanting to do Ackworth sampler. It's a Quaker, and it's in colors. So this was just right up my alley. This is Mary Colby, Ackworth School, 1803. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I bought that. Then I had to also get this. This is an Ackworth, also Quaker sampler by Needlework Press. And this might have to be for my black sampler in October, along with my stitching. I'm starting with Cindy and Halloween stuff, but I love that. And then I got this too because it's the one flag I didn't have, Flag Thief. It's just a little bit of stitching in there, but I love it. Look at down here on the bottom where the bunny is running with the flag and there's a fox following him. Yeah. And I love the grass. The grass is the best. Look at that house. But at least it's not all bricks it's filling. I can kind of handle that, I think. There's a few bricks in there, but not too bad. So that's what I purchased from Country Sampler. And now, I'll put these all back in here. Now, my regular haul. Where shall we start? Let me start with this. I ordered these from Swan Bay Fabrics. And in the UK, I wanted to try these. And she had such beautiful colors. And since I had just gotten back from Country Sampler and thought, well, let's tone down this spending here a little bit. I did order 5 of these, but I only ordered fat 8s because I just wanted to try them. And when I got them, they are lovely, lovely. Swan Bay, and I believe her name is Marie, the little dyer. She is one of the 2 ladies that does the Stitch and Chat Across the Pond monthly Zoom calls from, all over the world. It's so neat. It's so neat. It's a bunch of ladies that just get together and stitch for a couple hours and talk and show what they've been working on, and just wonderful. But she is one of the admins for that group. So these are, I'll try to show you these without dumping them all out. These are 5 of her colors. This is Hatfield Moss. Let me show you that. Hatfield Moss. This one, the next one is Wentworth Sage. This is Barton Clay. This one is Longborough Blush. And then this very end one is Pemberley. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I got all 40 counts. Those are going to be on something very, very soon. So there's those. Now, other fabric I happen to come across, just because you always have to have linen. And these, I'm trying not to dump these on the floor, guys. Okay, this is Fox and Rabbit Fabric of the Month Wattle 40 count. Look at this. Isn't that great? That's shown there. That's a pretty good representation of the color. And I believe this is my Gayron Stitchery that I'm in that one with. I also found this. I think this was on Stash Unload. It's Fox and Rabbit 40 count Inca. This is a little bit pinker. Oh, this is really, if I can show you that one part there. It's like a pinkish. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, then we have Weeks Dye Works Peoria Purple. Love that. I have Weeks Havana 40 count. I'm really getting into the dark colors. I really like that. This one is Hibiscus by Bestitch Me. And this is 40 count. Look at the colors in there. Isn't that beautiful? There's that one. Then we got some Cedar River. And this is Cedar... Oh, I'm sorry. This is Mason Linen. I bought this off of Stash Unload, too. This is 36 count light. This Mason Linen, if you've never used it, oh my God, it's gorgeous. I believe that this is what the Big Beautiful stitch is on. Is that Mason Linen? I think that's the only time I've used it. But it's gorgeous. These are the Cedar Rivers that I got. I'm throwing things on the floor again, guys. Sorry. Okay, this one is, I think this is a, oh, this is Maple Bar. This is one of the new colors. Pretty modeling. And then this one is red cedar, 40 count. This has got almost an autumnal feel. It's got orange, a little bit of orange or rust in with the rose color. Just beautiful. So that's Cedar River. Then I got another piece. Oh, this is probably last month. This is Desert Taipan Fox and Rabbit, 40 count. Didn't have that. Very pretty tan. Very, very pretty. Almost a pinkish tan. Oh, I got some 28 count Lugana, new khaki, that I'm going to do some over one stitching on. And this is Ocean Sand, 40 count by Atomic Ranch. It's just faint baby blue. That's showing it a little bit darker actually than what it is. But it's just a real pretty baby blue. Then, I have to clean up the floor when I'm done here. I don't, that's just was sitting in my pile. This is Newcastle 40 count Spellbound, and this is another one that's just gorgeous color. It's lavender and pink, and maybe even a little bluish and gray in there. Just so pretty. There's that one. Hold on, I've thrown a couple on the floor here. I'm glad these are all in plastic, because there's probably a lot of dog fur down here underneath my ottoman. And then we have another, oh, this is from 123 Stitch Co. And this is 40 count weathered. This is really pretty. And this is a fat eighth. And it really does look like weathered wood, the way it's modeled. Very pretty. That's just a fat eighth. But I'm sure that'll be great for some, maybe some ornaments. And I hate to cut my fat quarters, you know, a chunk out of my fat quarters for an ornament. And this one, I hope I have a tag in here what this is. Oh, here we go. That's why. This is Newcastle Winter Moon 40 count. Just a real plain, you know, just a solid. But I don't have a lot of solids. I have so many that are the overdyes now. I don't have a lot of the solid. No, those are all on the floor. Okay, let's do floss next. These are the little flossies I've gathered. And a lot of, I put a couple of trims in here too that I got along the way. These are from Stash Unload, but they're Lady Dot Creates, Pumpkin Patch and Jack Rick Racks. Pretty colors, you know me, my fall stitching, so those will be very cool. Algae is I got that chenille. This I think is from, I think this is still from Stash Unload. I got both of these, and these are Lady Dot. They're the ruler twirl tapes, and one's black and one's in the antique. So there are those. Now these are the flossies. I have been trying to build my collection of coloring cotton because I love them. So these are the collections that they had together. So I got a couple of these. This is a rainy morning in Edinburgh. All the muted, aren't those pretty? And then this one is Bumblebee, and it's a gradient, where they put all of their light colors in the gradients. Let's see what else I have here. These are, oh, let me leave those to the end. These are ones I believe I just picked out because I like them. Then I have my silks from Mo, so we'll get those out. I have so many fun things. It just makes me smile. Here's more of the color and cotton. This is Springtide. Look at those. Pretty pastels. These are Fairy Footpath. And And this one, I can put these all away finally. This is Royal Court. So they're all the jewel tones. And these are ones I just picked out on both of these, I believe. Because I wanted to get some fall and wintry looking colors. So these are Christmas and Halloween. And then these are just others I picked out. I wanted some greens and just some really unusual colors. I just really like this. I thought this one was really cool. It's Acacia. It's like a brown, light and dark brown for roofs and houses. Oh, I thought that was so cool. So there's the color and cottons. Too many plastic bags. And I wanted to leave them all out since this has been a while since I recorded. And I wanted to show them all to you, so okay, gonna leave those. Oh, I missed a piece. You've got to see this. I missed a piece of linen. This is 40 Count Midnight by XU Designs. Look at this. If this isn't like the coolest piece of fabric. I got this from Lindy Stitches. Look at this. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's great. I'll find something to put on there. It's beautiful. Okay, so that was one last piece of linen. All the linens are 40 counts. My sweet spot. And now we have, I found these on Stash Unload. And they're Forbidden Fiber Co. Somebody was just selling their stash of these. Some of these are just, these are Christmas. This is Bah Humbug. Bell. Candlestick. This is Christmas Past, Christmas Present, Christmas Yet to Come, Cratchit. Cool, huh? Ebenezer. This is Fanny. Oh, I believe this is one part of it's Nutcrackers and part of it is Christmas. Fred. Pretty Red. Marley. Of course, he was dead to begin with, so he's a gray. I'm not sure what this one is called. It's just cool. And Tiny Tim. Aren't those neat? As you all know, I'm a flossaholic. It's a sickness, and I'm not trying to get better from it. I don't like it. This was one of my weekly purchases from Mo, who sells on Facebook. And I believe these were, these are the ones, Little House on the Prairie. Carolyn Ingalls. And these are silks. These are gorgeous. Harriet Olson. These are the softest, most beautiful silks to stitch with. I love them. And she is so reasonable. This is Nellie Olson. Look at the colors in there. This one is Miss Beadle. And Willie Olson. Pretty turquoise, isn't it neat? This one is Mary Ingalls. Oh, it's even got some beautiful turquoise in there. Laura Ingalls, did I go through that one? No. Laura Ingalls. Mr. Edwards. Charles Ingalls. I lost track which one's that. This is Nels Olson. Carolyn Ingalls. Oh, look at that. Harriet Olson. I might have repeated these. And Nellie. Okay. Sorry, guys. I get carried away with my flosses. If you didn't know that before, you know now. I love them. Love them. Okay, that's the floss area. Now, I've got some charts. Believe it or not, I bought a few more charts. Do these. This is the basket that we got from Country Sampler. That was, they were circled in the middle of the table, and every day we came in, there were goodies in here from Jeannie and our projects from the designer. It's just wonderful. And actually, I have two of them because my friend that I met there, Sheila, was traveling back to Massachusetts. She was flying, and she couldn't get it in her luggage, so she said, no, you keep it. So I said, oh, okay. Thank you again, Sheila. Love you, honey. Miss you. Okay, this is my chart stash. Now, you have to realize this is from like 5 weeks or something, so it's going to look like a lot. Not that I, purchase a lot of charts. I got Nativity Frill to go along with my Tiny Town, my Nativity Tiny Town. I had to get Bun Bun. Oh, I had to get Bun Bun. If you watch The Curious Crafters, Anna and Caroline, Caroline is Carolyn? Yeah, Caroline. I'm not sure how she pronounces it. She was doing this on it's a different color, I don't remember. But I thought too, I'm going to pull the flosses, and I've got so many unique colors of fabric that I'm going to do something really cool with Bun Bun. That's Bun Bun. Love Bun Bun. Alrighty, this is, I'm trying to stick these back in the basket. Mr. Furr's Confession by Annie Belcher. Annie B's Designs. My heart is and always will be yours. Something I can make for my honey. And Merry Autumn Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. I didn't have. It's got her chickens. She loves her chickens. She was talking about them. She does have chickens. Sweethearts. And I got this too. I'm probably going to stitch this for my sister for her birthday. She loves cardinals, and my sister, as I believe that cardinals are visitors from heaven, loved ones we've lost, that's how they come and visit us. And, my mom and my sister lost her husband, so we have the male and female on there, and I think that she would really appreciate that. That's This Land by Shakespeare's Peddler. I just got this. This is a new release. And I got the kit. Isn't that gorgeous? Got the whole kit of Shakespeare's Peddler. Then we have Plum Street George Decorates for Martha, and this is the fall one. Can't believe I didn't have that. I had to get this. This is called Big Dill by Dirty Annie's. I am a dill pickle lover. It's actually a sickness. I love dill pickles. And it's even got little beads to put the little lumps on the pickles. Had to get it. Had to have it. My husband was cracking up when he saw that one. He goes, yeah, that's you. Bees and Birds Sewing Roll with the biscornu and a scissor fob. This is Stacy Nash. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Love her borders. This is so cute. This is Red, White, and Blue Doodles by Heart and Hand. Just a quick little stitch, but look at how cute that is and fit in one little frame. Hope I'm not going too fast, guys. I'm keeping it a little long here. Toes in the Sand by Hands On Designs, and that's probably going to be for my sister too. That'll probably be a Christmas ornament for her. I stitch her at least an ornament every year. I thought that's really cute. On the light blue or the dark blue. And Joy by Lila Studio. Love that. I don't know. I guess the angel should be in gold, shouldn't she? I was going to say, I think I might put a little green in there too. You know, some of the motifs that are red, switch them up to green, like maybe the trees. I think that might be cool. We'll see. Then we have Mojo Stitches. I love this. Mrs. Patmore's Sweet Home. I think Colorado Cross Stitcher Sherry is working on this or had finished it. I'm almost sure she's the one that I saw working on that. And this is Crafty Bluebonnet Liberty. Easy, fast stitch, but so cute. Finished real cute. This is a Merry Christmas by Pineberry Lane. Love the primitive look on this one. And the dark fabric. That is just perfect. Love it. This is great. And this is going to be in my going to stitch soon or start soon pile. This is a hands-on design. I was stitching ... And it says I was stitching when stitching wasn't cool. Isn't that great? Got all the your hoop and your frame, and love that. Scarlet House. I think this is a new one. Yeah, 2025, and it's Patriotic Alphabet. Love that. I love the board it's finished on. I'm sure that that's available. Homestead Needleworks on Etsy. It says on the back. Patriotic Trio. This is by Hobby House Press. Love those. All quick stitches, but so pretty. Love those. That's my floss. This is Christmas with Martha, and it's Screen Door Needleworks. This is Christmas Patriotic. I just love this. Look at this chart. It's Martha Washington's house, but there's a reindeer on the top. Got the lanterns, the holly, Christmas tree, and the flag. But the fence has garland on it, and I just love that. What's this little guy over in the corner? Oh, I think she's even got a little manger scene out there on the snow. Screen Door Needleworks. Very cute. Very cute. This is Milady's Needle, and it says, My spirits lift whenever I stitch. I love stitchy related charts too. I got this nativity from Screen Door Needle Arts too. Just a simple little one, but I collect stitched nativities, so that had to go to my collection. And then there's this one. This is Betsy Snyder, 1822, with Thy Needle and Thread, and it's a reproduction sampler, and it was all kitted. That was from Stash Unload. So did that. Now those were the small patterns. Now have to find the bigger guys. You should see my floor down there. This is why I can only do this once a month. It takes me weeks to clean up this mess. Okay, we'll leave this. This, I bought this off of Stash Unload too. Not the bag. Or I did buy the bag off Etsy probably. But this, somebody was selling. It was a whole kit. And it just came with all this neat stuff. This is by Primrose Cottage, which is one of my new favorites for little cutesy things. A snowman needle minder. Charms for your project bags. Stickers. Warm winter stitches. This is a chart, so I can't really can't show you that. Cup of cheer. Isn't that cute? And I'm a coffee drinker, but oof. And Home for the Holidays. And with that, get all the flossies for them. And the finishing kit for home for the holidays and cup of cheer. Isn't that great? Oh, I love this. It was just all, I guess it was a, obviously, you know, from Rose Cottage, whether it was a, you know, something they do seasonally, I'm not sure. I've just started following them, so I'm not sure. But then I had this cute little bag to put it in, so I kept all the pieces together because it was, there's a lot of little pieces. Okay, this I got, Scarlet House, Hannah Hartley Cowgill, 1835. I bought this off of Stash Unload too. It's a beautiful sampler, and it's kitted with MPIs, which is my favorite. Oh, favorite floss. Her and Mo, the two of them. Sophie Reppel, 1865. This is just stitching along with friends. I just thought that was so pretty. Look at that. This one cracks me up. This is Lola Crow, and it's called Acorns and Friends. And it's a fall piece. You know, mushrooms are all out here, and the leaves are bare, or trees are bare, I should say. Look at those animals. They're all cross-stitching. And the animals are so realistic. Look at the raccoon and the skunk. Oh, God, I love this. And that's Lola Crow. I just think that's just the funnest thing. Sorry, I'm busy stitching my stash. Oh, boy, if that isn't me. Great chart. Plum Street. I can't believe I didn't have this, but this is an older one. I might have had this and, you know, like sold it or whatever. I don't know. But I haven't stitched it. This is from 2013, and it's Promised Lamb. Christmas piece. Just beautiful. See the gentle lamb appears, promised land, promise from eternal years. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, then I found these two that I was really excited about. These are both from Needlework Press, and they're Quaker inspired medallions 1 and 2. So they're medallions that you could use, you know, replace maybe something on a sampler with the same. I just so many uses for these. Because I love Quakers, so I had to have those. This one I fell in love with too. This Sewing Tomato by Erin Elizabeth with the strawberry border. How cute is that? Oh. This is cute too. This is Stitcher's Welcome, Stone Street Stitch Works. I saw this stitched, and it's just precious. I love houses. I'm trying to get a collection going of these, of all of the months and the holidays, because there's so many people that are stitching, have stitched these, and they're just, the detail on them is spectacular. I know Sherry from Just So Sherry is working on November, maybe? No, I have November. What was that, maybe October? She's working on it, and they're doing, it's a stitch along, I think she's doing with somebody. And they're, she's doing a letter a month, which is very clever. This is the one Cindy and I am starting. So Cindy and I are starting in October. Autumn is joyful, but we weren't really crazy about the saying. At least I wasn't. I know Cindy wasn't. The saying in the middle, but on the on her website, she has an alternative saying about the leaves, I think, and it's so much prettier. So we both decided to use that. But look at that one. And that one's centerpiece is the acorn. The turkeys. And her animals are just spectacular. A witch's hat in there, and that's me. That is so me with the fall leaves, the colors on this. So this is the one we're starting on October 15th for Cindy's birthday. And then last but certainly not least, I'm going to take this out of the plastic to show you, and then this is the last chart that I have to show you. This is also brand new. This is Goodness and Mercy by Teresa Kogut. And I just absolutely love this. It's Goodness and Mercy. Just very muted colors. Just very muted. And I can't, it shows the key without showing the chart. No. The key is the color key. I wanted to show you with the flosses that are used. I believe it's all DMCs. Normally her bigger ones. Oh, here we are. No, the over dyes and DMCs. And then there's also this pin pillow. The muted colors. Isn't that beautiful? Another piece that, to me, the coloring is fall, but it's just a beautiful sampler, period. Let me get my garbage off the floor here. So that's my charts. My haul for right now. Let's see. Let me look at my list here. I think the only other thing I have is my surprise. And this is a surprise because this is the first time in, I don't know how many years I've been doing floss tube. I don't have that many. I believe this is episode 31, so it's not like, I was gone for a long time and then came back, and I'm still, as I said, not really up on a particular day. You ladies that can do this, Johnny on the spot, either every week or every 2 weeks and on the same day, bless your hearts. I have nothing else to do, and it I don't know. I have tried to be more regular with it, but something always comes up. Anyway, let me grab the surprise and we'll talk about this. Okay, so this is my very, very first giveaway. And my giveaway is in honor of my reaching my 5,000 subscribers. And thank every one of you for being here, to put up with my silliness and my accidents of knocking my phone over and just every horrible thing that has happened through all of my floss tubes. But as I've said before, I'm not a techie. I don't know how to do all the editing, and when I'm done with this, it pretty much is what it is. So if you can put up with that, 5,000 of you, bless your hearts. But I do thank every one of you for being here week after week, for making me really feel like I have friends that I'm talking to every time I do one of these. And I know people that don't do floss tube probably find it really hard to believe that you feel like you're talking to your friends. But I know I am. As I said, I reconnected with Cindy doing this. There are so many people that I have met from all over the world that have commented, and we've become friends on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. It's wonderful. And it's something that I hope I never stop doing. So, in honor of my 5,000 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway. I've waited till I found exactly what I wanted to give away, which I have, and I made a couple of purchases, things that I wanted to give to you. And I've also made just one little trinket. This is something that I made for the ladies that were at my table at Country Sampler, was what part of the little table gift I made for them. So I guess I'll start with that. And let me take it out of the bag here. I just made these for all the ladies. It's either a scissor fob or, bag hanger, but it says Stitcher. Do I have it the right way up here? Yeah. Stitcher. And do with it as you will. I usually use mine on my my bags so I can grab this a purse easier. Arthritis, you know how that is. So that's one part of it. The second part of it, when I ordered my this kit from Shakespeare's Peddler, pre-ordered it, this land, I thought, my God, this would be such a wonderful gift. So I purchased a second one. It's fully kitted. I showed you my copy of it. This is the one that'll be coming in with the gift. And it's all kitted. All the floss and the fabric is in there. That'll, you know, something you could stitch for our 250 coming up next July. And then this I bought on Stash Unload, I believe, or someone was just selling it off there. I'm not sure, but I did buy this off a website somewhere. So it includes a stitching bag, which was made, this is one of the Gayron Stitcheries bags. And the tag is on here. That's who made it. Great inside. Looks like coffee swirls to me. And then inside here, this is probably one of the neatest things I've seen. I'm not sure what year this is from. This might be last year. I'm not sure. Let me take this out. See if it's Baked with Love. This is by Hands On Design. And I'm not sure if I have, this is all the charts. Of course, I don't see the date on here. I should have looked before, but there's just all kinds of things in here. There's cookie recipes. There's just all kinds of neat stuff in here. It's a cookie exchange, a holiday mystery stitch along. This letter includes all the information to get you ready. Okay, so still don't see, I thought maybe there might be a date in there, but it's the whole kit. It's a whole kit and caboodle. There's several pages that are cookie recipes. There's floss drops on, it's heavy paper that you can cut out to put your floss on. There's the charts are in here for the cookie exchange. So that's the paperwork. Now, the rest of this, this is all the finishing things. This is Lady Dot Creates the finishing for the cookies. The cookie exchange, this is a floss drop holder. There's a ring in here that there's floss drops with, and a needle minder, magnetic needle minder. Here's the fabric for the cookies that you'll be stitching. And this, the piece de resistance, is this is from Homestead Needleworks, and it's the design board to mount your cookies on. I just thought this was the coolest thing. I saw this and I thought, yep, that's something else that I'd like to use as my giveaway. Not something that, I just had laying around, or, not that there's anything wrong with it. If it's an unused chart, that's fine. But this is something special, and this is something I normally don't do. So I thought that, I know I would certainly love this. I'm hoping you do. So this goes in the bag, along with the Shakespeare's Peddler chart and kit. And then the Stitcher floss bag, or whatever you want to use it on. I am going to ask, unfortunately, and I have so many overseas friends, and I hate to do this, but right now, the postage is just astronomical. And this is going to be a little larger thing to send, so I'm asking, please, that you comment, only ladies or gentlemen in the U.S. so that I can ship it reasonably. And we'll just do a random pick for the 5,000 subscriber giveaway from Stitching Bunny. And let's see, what word can we use? How about I should have thought of this ahead of time, huh? How about we use oh gosh. Come on, guys, yell something at me. How about anniversary? I think that'd be too complicated. It's not really anniversary. I know what we use. Milestone. Make it one word. Milestone. Milestone. Make it one word, not two. So I'll do a search on that word, milestone, because that's what my 5,000 was. It's a milestone. Perfect. Sorry that took a little while, a few minutes to decide on that. But if you'd like this, from my heart, I hope it's something that would make you happy. Use the word milestone in your comment. I ask that you be a subscriber from the U.S. And I hope this will make you as happy as it made me putting it together for you. So that, I think, would wrap up everything I had for you today. We're running a little long here, needless to say. But before you leave, I'd like to thank you. Thank you for being with me again. Thank you for spending, choosing me to spend your time with. I know there's a lot of floss troopers out there, and I watch, I hope, the majority of them myself. So to, spend your precious time sitting, listening to me, I truly appreciate, because I truly love having all of you with me. Please continue to comment. I love that. I love reading the comments. I try to at least leave a heart on every comment to let you know that I've read it. I might miss one or two here or there, because I'm old. But I do love your comments also. Enjoy your month of July, all your patriotic stitching, whether it carries you through August also. That's wonderful. But just keep in mind, September, the Burr months start, BER months. September, October, November, December. My favorite time of year, the Burr months. And that's when we start our fall and winter and Christmas stitching. Patriotic, you can, put a few in here and there, because we do have our 250 next year, so you're going to have to do some patriotic stitching too. But make sure you pick up your fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, winter stitching once the Burr months start, so that we're all on the same page. But until then, happy July. Thank you for being with me. Love you all, and stitch every day. Bye-bye.